Imagine this. It's Christmas Eve, 1945, and the Sodder family in Fayetteville, West Virginia, has gathered for a cozy holiday celebration. 10 children laugh and play as their parents, George and Jenny Sodder, prepare for the festivities. But on this peaceful night, the unimaginable happens. A fire breaks out, turning their Christmas Eve into a nightmare. 5 of the Sodder children mysteriously vanish, and their fate remains unsolved to this day. What really happened on that fateful night? The story begins with an ordinary family. The Sodders lived a simple life. George Sodder, the father, was a successful businessman and a proud Italian immigrant who had built a new life for his family in America. His wife Jenny was a devoted mother to their 10 children, and despite some challenges, they were a close-knit family. Christmas was a special time for the Sodders, and that evening felt like any other. But everything changed around midnight. Jenny was awakened by a strange sound. It was as if something hard had hit the roof and then rolled off. Shortly after, she noticed smoke filling the house and woke George. The house was already ablaze, and the family acted quickly. George and Jenny managed to get 4 of their children to safety, but the other 5 children, who were still inside, were nowhere to be found. Desperately, George tried to rescue the remaining children. But every attempt was thwarted. A ladder he planned to use to reach the upper floor had vanished. His truck, which he tried to start for an improvised rescue, wouldn't work, even though it had been running fine the day before. The fire department was called, but due to staffing shortages and the holiday, they arrived hours later when the house was reduced to ashes. After the fire, one haunting question remained. Where were the 5 missing children? The fire department initially suggested that the children had perished in the fire. But the evidence told a different story. In the ruins, investigators found no trace of human remains, which was unusual, as even a severe fire typically leaves bone fragments. This was the first clue that perhaps the Sodder children had not died in the fire after all. Jenny began to doubt the fire theory, and several strange incidents deepened her suspicions. She recalled that only weeks before the fire, an unknown worker had checked their electrical meter, an inspection that struck her as odd. Additionally, George had received multiple threatening calls from a man urging him to speak out about Italian politics, warning him that his family would pay if he didn't comply. Could it be that the fire was set deliberately to punish or harm the family? More clues suggested a possible crime. Witnesses reported seeing a strange figure in a car parked near the house on the night of the fire. Another witness claimed to have seen the missing Sodder children in a car in a nearby town after the fire. These accounts haunted George and Jenny, convincing them that their children were still alive and may have been abducted. The Sodders began a years-long, tireless search for their missing children. They distributed flyers, placed newspaper ads, and even offered a reward for information. The family firmly believed that their children were alive, following every lead, no matter how unlikely. At one point, they received a photo of a young man who bore a striking resemblance to one of their missing sons. But the sender remained anonymous, and the lead went cold. Jenny clung to hope and built a shrine for her children in her home. For decades, she maintained the shrine, lighting candles regularly in the hope that one day she would learn the truth about their fate. George and Jenny passed away without ever finding the answers they had so desperately sought. So, what could have really happened? Many theories have been proposed over the years. Some believe that the children were kidnapped and became victims of a human trafficking ring. Others speculate that it was a personal vendetta against George, with the children being taken to cause him anguish. Some even claim that the children may have been raised by distant relatives under new identities. The case has been reopened several times, but the disappearance of the Sodder children remains unsolved. The mystery has fascinated many historians and criminal investigators, yet despite numerous theories, there is still no definitive explanation. Some claim it's one of the most baffling kidnapping cases in American history. The disappearance of the Sodder children reminds us that not all mysteries can be solved. It's a story filled with pain, hope, and an endless quest for answers. The Sodders never gave up, searching until the end for the truth. Their relentless determination makes this one of the most haunting and touching cases ever. If this story has moved and intrigued you as much as it has us, please subscribe to our channel and leave us a like. On our channel, you'll find more mysterious and captivating stories that blur the lines between reality and legend. Don't forget to hit the bell so you won't miss any of our stories, and stay tuned for the next video.